Have you ever wondered why some people end up poor, some people end up middle class, and others end up wealthy? My friends, during this video, we're going to teach you the major secrets why some people end up where they are and others end up wealthy. Why is it that some people end up poor? Why is it that some people end up middle class? And why doesn't everyone end up wealthy? How many times have you asked yourself these questions? How many times have you asked yourself, what do I need to do to actually increase my income, to actually increase the amount of money that I create in this world, and of course, become more wealthy? My friends, a lot of people don't really understand why different people end up in the different economic statuses. Now, I want to make something very, very clear. A wealthy person is not better than a poor person. They're simply wealthier. There's nothing necessarily inherently wrong with being poor or being middle class. But I know that you have more value to create in this world than you're currently creating. I know that you have more potential that you can actually create in this life and more that you can offer to people if you were able to actually become wealthier. And so why is it that some people stay poor, some people stay middle class, and others become wealthy? The first reason is because a lot of people simply don't have the mindset that wealthy people do. A lot of people don't realize that 80% of success in any area, including wealth, is what's in here. It's how a person thinks. I'm kind of well known for making the following statement, that I can tell whether a person will end up poor, middle class, or wealthy for the rest of their life within 30 seconds of meeting someone, simply by asking the following question. If you were given $25,000, tax-free, no strings attached right now, what would you do with it? Now, the stereotypical poor-minded person would talk about all the stuff that he or she would buy. They'd go out and they'd buy all their fancy toys and they'd buy all the stuff that isn't actually going to give them a return on that investment. Of course, that would give the money right back to the owners of the stores where they buy the stuff, leaving them with little to no money. A stereotypical middle-class person would talk about how they would put it towards their debts. They would put it towards their mortgage, or they would pay off their credit cards, or they would pay off their schooling. They would put it towards debts because the be-all, end-all middle-class financial goal is to simply pay off debt. Again, there's nothing inherently wrong with that. It's good to keep your financial obligations. However, doing this simply gives that money right back to those banks or those creditors that lent you that money, leaving you with, again, little to no money. A wealthy person, on the flip side, would talk about how they would turn that $25,000 into much, much more. They would take it and they would invest it. Maybe they invest it into creating and learning more skills so that they can then add more value to the world. Maybe they would put it into a financial investment that they know would generate a very, very high level of return. Again, the biggest difference between poor, middle class, and wealthy people is their mindset. The second reason why a lot of people don't become wealthy is because it never occurs to them to do so. They never even can fathom the fact that it's possible for just about anyone with the wherewithal to do so to become wealthy. In fact, most of us grow up in a home where we're taught what I like to call the middle class formula for success. And maybe you're familiar with this as well, which is go to school to get good grades so that you can then get into a good college, so that you then get a degree, go out and find a good job, and hopefully work your way up the corporate ladder. Now, this can work for some people, but it's pretty rare that a person actually becomes extremely, extremely wealthy following this formula. It's very, very rare that a person can follow the middle class formula and become wealthy. Number 3, a lot of people simply don't decide to become wealthy. It may have occurred to them that it's possible, but they don't actually make that first decision to stop settling for less. My friend, you make the type of money that you make because you settle for the type of money that you settle for. For example, have you ever heard of someone that maybe they go in for a job interview, and when the person doing the interview says, well, what are your salary expectations? And the person says, oh, $2 million a year? And the interviewer goes, "Are you kidding me? This job pays $30,000. And the person says, "Okay, great. Find me a job that pays $2 million a year." My friend, are you simply settling for getting by or keeping your head above the water? What you settle for is what you get, and not a penny more. If you settle for being poor or being middle class, of course you're not going to become wealthy, because only the people that will settle for nothing less than being wealthy actually become so. My friend, please stop settling for less than what you're worth. You deserve to be wealthy, because you then can create a bigger positive impact on the world. The next reason why people don't become wealthy is they simply procrastinate doing those things that they know will help them become more wealthy. Author Brian Tracy talks about a certain vacation spot that a lot of people love to spend their time in, which he calls Someday I'll, which means someday I will start that business. Someday I'll hire that mentor. Someday I'll whatever it is. And they keep procrastinating, doing those things that they know will actually make them wealthier. My friend, there's no time like the present. Stop procrastinating. Start doing those things that you know will help you to become wealthy right now. And if you don't know what it takes to become wealthy, click on the link below. Come to one of our events and learn what it does take to become wealthy. Finally, a major reason why a lot of people don't become wealthy is simply they have what we call limiting beliefs. For example, how many times have you heard of someone that maybe consciously wants to become super wealthy, and so they go out and they do start a business and they work super hard and they put in super long hours, but then it ends up flopping and they go nowhere. And they bang their heads against the wall saying, "What is it about me? Why can't I seem to make more money?" What they may not realize is that consciously they may want more money, but if subconsciously they have beliefs, for example, money's the root of all evil, if they have that belief pumping through their subconscious, of course they're going to push money away. My friend, if you have the belief that money is the root of all evil, of course you're going to push money away because you don't want to be evil. If you have this idea that it's not okay to become wealthy, or that it simply isn't in the cards to do so, my friend, it's time to get rid of those limiting beliefs. I like to tell people at my classes, if you believe that getting wealthy isn't in the cards for you, get a new set of cards. It's okay, my friend. Think about it. Who has more control over the media of the day, the poor or the wealthy? Who decides what the laws of the land are, the poor or the wealthy? Who decides the fashion trends of the day, the poor or the wealthy? There are too many people that are using wealth for not good things. Why don't you become a person that becomes wealthy and then uses that wealth for amazing things? My friend, you truly can become wealthy. If I can do it, you can do it. Let's help you get there. Hey, it's Eric again. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe, and of course, leave a comment below. If you know other people that would benefit from hearing this information, please feel free to share this, including on your social media page. If you really want to get crazy, make sure to check out our live events at feelwelllivewell.com. That's feelwelllivewell.com. And come and see us at one of our next live events. I promise you will absolutely love it.